Okay.
Testing. 1, 2.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
That's right. Alright, that's another issue there. Here we go. Alright, welcome everyone to the City of Villa-Rica Planning Commission on this day of 31 January of 2017. This is a call to order. First up is the adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt this agenda?
So moved?
Yep, second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adopt this agenda. All those in favor raise their right hand. All opposed? Motion carries 3-0. First up is old business, which is the approval of the minutes for November 29th, 2016. Everybody got a copy of the minutes?
Yeah, I have a couple of comments. One of them's a nit. On page 2,
Okay.
there's a misspelling. On the third paragraph from the bottom, it says City Council would hear the request.
Oh, A-T-R-E.
Yeah.
I wonder if spell check didn't catch that one.
And on the next page,
Okay.
the first line in the bottom paragraph, it says Commissioner again stated. Commissioner who? I assume that was probably John Mount.
No, it was again. Mr. Again.
He lives on North Avenue, I think, Mr. Again.
Where is that again? I'm sorry.
On the first line on the last paragraph, page 3. Says Commissioner Robinson asked if there were any further comments, period. Commissioner blank again stated that it needs more specification.
Okay.
I assume that might have been John, but I don't know. That's all I had.
Got anything, Willie?
No.
Okay. All right.
Do you have anything?
No. It's all numbered correctly. 4 pages out of 4. Looks good to me. There we go. So that being said,
Move approval of the minutes as corrected.
we have a motion to approve the minutes with the corrections as stated. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes with corrections as stated. All those in favor raise their right hand. All opposed? Minutes are approved. Next up is new business.
What you have on here is a conditional use permit. This is the Mirror Lake Collision LLC. Mr. Fernander is here. And he requests a conditional use permit for his property at 82 Conyers Road. It's in the 2nd District, Carroll County. And this is for continuation usage, if I'm not mistaken, of his existing towing and wrecker service. And it's on 1.31 acres in Ward 1.
Okay.
The applicant is present.
All right. If you could, at this time, if the applicant or representative of the applicant would step forward over there to the microphone, give us your name and address, and tell us why we should consider this conditional use.
My name's... Hello.
There's a switch on the bottom.
It's on.
Oh, it is?
On.
Yeah, you may have to pick it up.
My name's Rodney Fernander. The address is 82 Connors Road, Villa-Rica. The reason I'm here is because I want to extend my business with a wrecker service and have an impound lot or a lot behind my building that I can store cars instead of cars being out front, dropped off by other wrecker services.
John?
I figured it would be a better
Yes.
ordeal to tow my own cars.
Okay. Give me just a second.
That's part of your existing lot?
Yes, yes.
Are you using it now?
It's a storage lot. It's just a storage lot.
And there's a fence around it now?
Privacy fence all the way
So-
around. No, nothing can be seen from the road. So
I know I drive by there almost every day and
Yeah,
can hardly see the fence, so,
yeah, it's completely behind the building. The thing is, I was using previous record services, and cars were getting dropped off at night that were not drivable, so they would be left out there wherever they dropped them at night. And I figured it'd be, better for me to get a tow truck, start saving the money on towing my own vehicles, and then I have control of keeping the lot clean, because I don't like my lot to be, I don't like cars out front that are mangled up, so I can pull my own cars in there, put them behind the building in a secure lot, and everything's secure, and I have control of everything at this point.
now you have a number of cars that sit out to the west of your building. Will those,
During the day, we pull all our cars out during the day and pull them back in during the evening, unless the inside's too full to where we can't pull them all in.
will this additional lot, though, alleviate some of that?
Yes, it has so far. It's just when we get, super covered up, the only time the cars are left on the left side of the building is when we don't have enough storage space inside. But every morning we try to pull them out, and every evening we try to, put them back in. So if business is good, some cars would have to be left outside overnight. But I always try to pull them in and get them secured. So.
Well, you're using this lot now. What are you asking to be done? I mean, you're already using the lot, so.
Well, the reason I'm doing a record service is to separate liability from the body shop.
Oh, okay.
That's my main thing. I want separate liability. So just actually two different businesses to split liability.
Okay.
So.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
At this time, would anybody else like to speak in favor of this conditional use? Please step forward to the microphone. Okay. All right, at this time, is there anyone in opposition to this conditional use? Step forward to the microphone. That being no takers, at this point, the public section is closed. Any questions for staff?
Staff is not here.
Staff is not here. Is there any questions if he was here?
I just wish there were a fence like this around the SRS facility, which is adjacent to his, to hide that unsightly mess that I've complained about. And,
Yep.
They are in the process of cleaning that up.
well, maybe. They're taking it out like one pickup truckload at a time, if they are. So, I move approval of the
Okay.
of the request.
All right, we have a motion to approve the request for conditional use. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this conditional use. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? Conditional use is approved unanimously, and with a vote of 3, it goes forward. So at this point, I always like to say, the next step is to go to the city council meeting. Going to do this all over again, but you're going in with a unanimous approval recommendation of this board.
And that is at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, and it's already on the published agenda. And then the sign that's there also has that date and time of that meeting, correct?
Yeah, for the council.
Okay,
Tonight's on the council.
all right, thank you.
All right.
Looks like you're doing a bang up business there at,
It's grew, and I enjoy what I do, and I'm proud of it. So, yeah, it's growing.
Good.
We take pride in what we do still.
Cool.
I'm excited to go to work every day. It's a plus.
very good.
Thank you much. Next up, we have staff comments by David Milliron.
From the last time, there hasn't been any planning and zoning issues from the last meeting to this one that I recollect. The 2017 budget's approved, so the next process is to start typing up the RFP for the comprehensive plan. So we'll shoot that out when it's ready for any comments that you all may have. and start that process. And then there is potential for next month. Let's see. Actually, you all provided. There potentially will be a plan development issue coming forth with a property on the Douglas County side off of Bankhead Highway, where it's a budding industrial, and the current usage doesn't meet the new 35,000 square foot building that is being suggested there. So that very well may come to you for next month. And let's see, the council did approve the goats. So that was a holdover. That was Ms. Purr's conditional use. So they gave her, I think it was a 1 year. And so that'll be back before the council on an annual basis. And I think that's it at this point.
Is there anything that we should be working on now relative to the comprehensive plan?
No. Mm-mm. No, they're actually, the consultant actually will come in, and usually one of the first things they do is start to review all the existing codes, the current plan, et cetera. Then they start to meet with the stakeholder groups, and then they start to have public charrette meetings. And once they've pulled all of that feedback from all the stakeholder groups, then they start to put together a draft document. And ultimately we get a final document, and once it's blessed, it goes before the council and they take action.
Has the consultant been selected?
No, you have to do the RFP in order to take bids.
Is there any role that we could play in that selection?
Yeah, it was asked at a previous meeting, and I said that I'd probably pick a stakeholder or two as part of the selection team. So once we move forward in the process, once we actually go to bid, there'll be a team that will actually make the recommendation of that consultant, and then the council actually will have to approve the contract.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Milliron. And next up, we have public comment. If a group wishes to speak, one person must be designated to speak for the group. Please sign the sign-in sheet. All public comments are limited to 10 minutes. Any takers?
Just Larry. He always has something.
Okay. Not Larry? Okay. Got
Come
the
on,
light
Larry.
on.
You got something. I say we wait for 5 minutes, just meditation or whatever. He's going to have something.
Okay.
Well, I have a question that doesn't relate to our agenda, but it relates to, again, the property next door to them. Is there something going on with that storage unit that's to the right of the auto collision, where those trucks block Connors Road when they try to back in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in fact, that was bought. There's no designated use for it yet, but they've been rehabbing it. In fact, this past week they just put in the brand new windows. They have renovated all the office space inside it. It's spick and span clean. They've put new rolling window doors on the entire building. Now they're investigating whether or not the rail sprayer is a option for them. And I understand that there's a company coming in from Atlanta next week to take a look at that facility.
Hard to believe they could ever clean it up.
It's immaculate in there, John. There's usually cars over there, so, stop by sometime, just go in and introduce yourself. It is amazing how incredibly clean it is in there. Every time I'm over there, I take photos because I've actually, from the day they open the doors, I have taken progression photos. So I have the before and after.
Right.
And of course, every time I joke, I said I wish I had a go-kart right now because I could like do races in there and have a lot of fun. It is a huge, deep building.
It's a big building.
So now there's several things that are in play for economic development that may utilize that, but nothing definite at this time.
So somebody has bought it, but there's no use for it
Yep.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've met all the investors. We know who they are, and they're good folks. Carol Tomorrow, myself, went out and visited them. Went out to one of their facilities in Atlanta. So
At one time, there was a comment that SRS was looking for additional space. Is that a possible use for them?
nothing that they've engaged the city with or any of our EDO folks. Anything we've entertained with SRS has been code compliance.
Okay.
And they're making great strides and progress in what they've been doing.
Not sure I would agree with great strides.
Great strides. We have before and after photos. They've made a substantial increase as to what, and eventually they'll have pretty much everything storage offsite, things like that. But I give them credit. They've done good work over there trying to comply.
Relative to that, do we have the new enforcement people on board yet? That was approved in the budget?
There wasn't any new code and compliance folks
Oh, I
in
thought
the
there were
budget.
2 additional.
There's community service guards, but they're not code and compliance.
Okay.
That's for community service through the
So-
court.
We still just have the 2.
You have 3, so you have
Yeah, because we have people, I guess.
yeah, and part of those hours are in Villa Rica because they have one zone. The city's spread out in the zone, so they actually cover part of Villa Rica during their because Temple's only a commitment of 20 hours. So the other hours are here. And they do the Saturday rotation shifts.
All right, thank you much. Being that there's no public comment, do I have a motion for adjournment?
I motion to adjourn.
We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor of adjournment, raise your right hand. All opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Okay.